So, having I'm going to be I'm going to be going through how the class is going to be so far, what we are going to be doing, and all that. So, please, if you can hear me, please indicate. Okay, so how we can be going from there, how we can proceed from there. And then I'll be talking about how the class is going to be, what we are going to achieve with the class, and at the end of the lessons, I promise you all that you will gain enough knowledge to be a vibe coder, and a vibe coder that actually achieves a lot. So we are going to be starting with the vibe coding before we go over to YouTube automation. So for the vibe coding, I'm just going to show you um, some of the projects I have done. In the conference, I actually talked about using Lovable as your development tool, right? Using Lovable as your development tool. So I'm just going to go over my Lovable app Lovable app right now. Yeah, I'm going to go over my Lovable app. So I'm just going to show you the way it is when you log in. So when you create your account, when you log in, your Lovable is going to appear this way. This is what you're going to be seeing in your Lovable project. You understand? So this is what you're going to be seeing in your Lovable dashboard. Now, proceeding from there, you then find out that okay, I'm just going to walk you through all the projects I've done. These are the projects I have done so far with Lovable. This is for a hotel. The code core method I taught you, so this is part of it. So this is the another website, and this is all the jobs I've done with this particular Lovable account so far. So going from there, let us preview this particular one to show you that AI can actually build a clean website that does not look AI generated. You understand? So looking at that particular website, let it load up. Let it load up. Yeah. Looking at this website, I'm just going to open the larger preview right here. I'm just going to open up the larger preview. Now, look at this website. On a first glance on this website, you're going to find out that this is not looking AI generated. This is not looking AI generated at all. So look at even the animation, this background video that is showing right here was done. It was the AI that generated this. Lovable generated this particular video and embedded it as a background video. So going down, let's just take a quick look at it. Let us take a quick look at it. As you can see, these are the flows of the website, what it looks like. Then let's go over to the fleet section. That is where customers can actually, you know, view available fleets. So let's look over there. Now let us look at this website is majorly for hiring people who wants to hire aircraft. So let us look for that. Okay, at the fleet section there are no fleets yet, so let's check the charter. All right, now if you want to book a flight, yeah, if you want to book a flight, so you basically go from come to the charter, and then you talk about your trip. Tell us about your trip right here, as it is written right here. So you're going to talk about your trip. So hold on a minute. So going back to the Lovable app, going back to the Lovable app, right here. We are talking about, yeah. So if you want to charter, you just come right here and then you impute your destination. Maybe you're going to San Francisco, and then all that. The AI actually built this out from beginning to the end of it. So I don't know. It's supposed to be showing some flight list here, but I don't know why it's not loading up. But it's fine. Now this is about the company. So if you want to learn more about the company, this is it. And then the contact details of the company. And like I said, this AI built this particular website under 25 minutes, less than 25 minutes. It's built everything completely, and then gave it a name, Azure Wings, and then generated the logo also. So everything inside this website, the AI generated it itself. So in this course, in this lesson, you will be learning how to properly generate websites with AI, and then be able to interact with the AI properly so that it can understand everything that you tell it to do. So I'm just going to be direct on the vibe coding, and then we get started. So to get started, I'll first log out from this particular Lovable account because I want to start from the very scratch. So this is Lovable. When you open up lovable.dev, so you need to create accounts or you need to log in. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and log in, and I'm going to be logging in directly with my Gmail. So I'm just going to find that. I think I should log in with this. So you can sign up with your email. It's very simple. When you sign up to your email, you input your date of birth, and then also enter your full name. So already I have multiple accounts on this particular um, AI tool. So now when you create accounts, there will not be projects here. I have projects, so there will not be projects in this tab. All you just have to do to get started is to type into this box. So there are rules to understand before you start prompting your AI. So there are rules, like I said, you need to understand before you start prompting your AI. Now, what's the number one rule? You must first of all know how to think like a software engineer. So because of that, I'm just going to take a break and then give and I'm going to take a break and then talk about how you can think as a software engineer. Now, a software engineer, what is a software engineer? A software engineer is someone who build software. So softwares can be web application, website, mobile application, desktop application, and cloud applications. So anything that has to do with solving a problem digitally in a computer is just basically what software is in a layman understanding. So software engineering, you must think critically. Now, how do you solve a problem as a software engineer? So that is the number one feature, the number one quality of a software engineer, knowing how to do what to solve a specific problem. So now someone meets me and be like, I am lacking customers, and then I need to get customers online. Now, this is an example of a problem. Now, as a software engineer, you're supposed to think, what's the angle of your business? What type of business are you doing? And then when the client states the business is doing, you then think again and say, okay, this type of business, how do I help with this kind of problem? Now you are identifying the problem and narrowing down the problem. Now when you identify the problem, okay, first of all you understand the problem, then identify what the problem is, and then narrow it down to your specific niche, like your specific ability, how you can use what you have to solve that particular problem. You understand? So the first step is problem identification, and then second, understanding the problem critically, and then third, narrowing down the problem, and then fourth, coming up with ideas to solve that specific problem. You understand? So let's consider the example. the client says, I need a website. Okay, what type of business are you doing? Why do you need a website? Okay, he's lacking customers and he need customers online, right? So you are now trying to identify the problem that business have, which is lack of customers, lack of online customers or online presence. Now, the next thing you understand the problem that that business is having. So, because they don't have an online presence, that means they are lacking customers, right? They are lacking online customers, right? So now you've understood the problem. First of all, you remember you identified the problem. Now you have understood the problem. With that, you can now come with a better approach to solving that problem. You can now say, okay, you need a social media page, or you need a website, or you need this, or you need that to solve that particular problem. So it's not space engineering. It's simple as that. It's as simple as that. And then after you've identified your problem, you can now come up with an algorithm. But I won't be too fast in this video. I will just break down solving problems as a software engineer in much details. Now let's take another example. Someone who usually gets leads on Facebook, let me say customers message them on Facebook, okay, I need this product, but they are not always chanced to attend to those Facebook messages, right? Now, that has become a problem for their business because they are not attending to those Facebook messages, they are not attending to those potential customers who are reaching out on Facebook. That has become a problem in that business. Now we have identified the problem of that business already, so it has become a problem in that business. Now, the next thing is understanding the effect of that problem. Yeah, you want to understand that problem, right? They are not able to attend to those customers. Now it is now affecting their business. They no longer have leads from Facebook anymore. Leads simply means customers from Facebook, right? Or potential customers reaching out from Facebook. So they don't have leads anymore. Now, this is the effect of that problem in their business. How do you now solve this problem? You can come up with a solution to like create an application or create something that will automatically reply to their message. I don't want to sound too technical. You can say they can employ someone who can attend to those messages. Am I right? So they can employ someone who attends to those messages, and then they will stop losing customers. So with this now, you are now thinking, your brain is now open, you are now thinking how to solve problems, right? So you can tell them to employ someone who will attend to those messages that they are getting on Facebook. So now if you want to be more technical, that okay, they don't have the financial stability to employ another worker, to employ another staff in their company or in their business. So you can go ahead and tell them that you can create an application that will automatically follow up those messages. Now we are now into software engineering full time. We are now into full time software engineering. So you find out that the more you are able to think critically to solve a particular problem, the more you are pivoting from being a noob to a pro software engineer, right? The more you can think critically to solve a problem, that is the more you are pivoting from becoming a noob to becoming a professional software engineer. So what are the elements? I've talked about solving a problem, which is the very first thing the very first quality that you need to have as a software engineer before you can even start building applications with what they call it, with AI. So this is the first quality you need to have. Now the next quality you need to have is understanding how software is run. I'll just be fast. This is a webinar. I'll just be fast so that we can know, so you can have an idea of what you'll be learning in the main class. So the next quality to have as a software engineer is being able to understand how software works. being able to understand how software works. Now, how do you understand how software works? Software are very easy. So you understand how the back end works with the front end and all that. In fact, you just understand the entire flow of how your applications run, your Snapchat, your Zenda, your Facebook, how it works. So when you grasp that understanding and you've known it, you can now be able to properly prompt your AI. So in the class, we'll be learning all that step by step from thinking critically. I promise that at the end of the class, all of us will begin to think like professional software engineers. So we are going from thinking critically to understanding how softwares are built, how they work, how all the components of software work together to achieve the specific goal, and then we'll then be moving forward to prompt engineering. So we'll then be moving forward to prompt engineering. You will learn how to actually prompt AI properly to give you the expected results. And then, of course, there will be little tweaking here and there after the first results was generated. So there will be little tweaking here and there to give that very perfect result that you are looking for. So after that, what you'll be learning in the vibe coding class would be how to create complex applications. So after you've learned your prompt engineering, then we run our first application, our first website. Then we'll be moving to complex workflows, and how you can even use AI in your development environment. So development environment is just basically where you write your codes. Though we will not be writing codes, it's the AI that will be writing the codes for us. So we'll be moving ahead from there. We'll be moving ahead to cloud operative. So where we deploy our projects, and then how users can access it from anywhere in the world. Remember, this class is not just for websites. So that is the mindset I want you um, to remove from your brain. This class is not just for websites. This class is full-time software engineering class. So if you're in this class, please, I will beg you to um, listen up, be very attentive, be ready to learn, and be ready to unlearn, because there are so many things that we will be um, unlearning. There are so many knowledge we'll be dropping behind, and then wearing new knowledge. And then also, if you're in this class, if you're in the community, I would expect you to be active, because I'll be making videos, and then I'll be dropping in the community, and I'll be updating us every single time. So my goal is to help people, actually help people who are ready to learn to become something in life. Yeah, because with the power of AI in this generation, many young people are now pivoting from becoming casual youths to becoming millionaires in dollars. So I now want everybody in the community to be part of that opportunity. you can come up with a solution to like create an application or create something that will. All right. Um, I was talking about coming up with a solution before the video had some technical issues. So I was talking about coming up with a solution would help would help a business to grow. So you are thinking critically, you are thinking technically on how to actually help that business solve their problem. Now, the next key point for the vibe coders is to, um, after thinking critically, developing the skill to think critically and problem solving, then the next thing is for you to go ahead to understand the way that softwares work, understand the way that software work, how every component of the software interacts with each other, and how um, they work hand in hand to deliver and solve a specific problem. So, having said that, and having gotten that skill, the next thing you want to understand for yourself is um, prompt engineering. Prompt engineering will help you and will help you go a long way and make a difference in this particular field of vibe coding. So you find out that you are understanding how to prompt the AI, how the AI speaks, how it understands, how it's handle context. So we will be learning all that in the class, and then um, the next thing would be we'll be learning cloud and cloud provisioning and infrastructures and dev operatives. So we'll be learning how we host, what should be hosted and what should not be hosted. Understand me? And then we'll talk about the database and every other thing, software architectures. We'll talk about all that in the vibe coding class. So if you have watched this video up to this extent, I will urge you to like, share, and then subscribe to the channel. Then, having said that, so one of the projects we'll be building in this particular vibe coding class, we'll be building an AI agent that creates videos daily for YouTubers and then posts for them directly on their YouTube. So, having mentioned that, I'll be going over to the YouTube automation. Now, what we'll be learning in the YouTube automation class is basically how to um, get monetized easily from YouTube, how to create a YouTube channel, types of content that scale, how to monetize easily, thumbnails, video qualities, and all that. We'll be learning that in the YouTube automation class. Now, then we will use the AI agents that we built in the vibe coding AI software engineering class, and then we'll use that particular AI agent for our YouTube automation. So we'll use that particular agent for our YouTube automation, right? Hold on. All right. So we'll use that particular agent that we'll be building in the software class in our YouTube automation class. So we'll use it in our YouTube to automate our YouTube channel. So having said that, we'll be talking about consistency. These two business models, you need to be consistent for it. You need to be consistent in it. You need to, put in your effort. You need to see it as a business. You need to see it as a business, full-time business that you cannot neglect. You need to show up every day doing it. Every day you come out, you do it, and then continue. Because there are some days that you will not feel like doing it. There are some days that you won't even want to even come close to your phone or your system to say you're posting a video or creating an app. There are days where you feel weak, but then you need to show up every day, because it's by consistency that you will earn from this particular business models. It's your consistency that will make you profitable and make you different from other people who have tried. Like I said, your first 30 videos, you might not even get the amount of likes or views in your videos that will be encouraging. But then you find out that you have to do it, you have to show up, you just have to do it. And then when you are consistent, that is when you will start again getting the pays. That is when there will be a link in the description after this video, so you can join the community. And thank you very much, and God bless you for joining so far. I really appreciate your endeavor to be here. So thank you very much once again as you join the class, and please be ready to learn. Please be very much ready to learn.